Hey guys, it's Kate, Zencat Vintage, and today we are shopping at the Salvation Army thrift store in View Royal, BC. First, in the door on their end cap right by the cashier, they had these beautiful pottery pieces. I love the blue glaze on these. Sort of like goblets, I guess, wine goblets, water goblets. Those were priced at $5.99 each. Then over here, these little perfume bottles were sweet, but each one had some pretty significant damage to it. Now up here, these guys are, I like to think of them as kind of like a Fitz and Floyd wannabe. They were by a company called Mercury's. They did all sorts of cute little like tea sets and figural things. Some can be worth a bit of money. And then this little trinket box, I'm pretty sure is Polish. I think it's a Polish like wood burning, wood carving technique, kind of like a folk art thing. Very pretty little box. Over here, we're in the sort of like whites section. This Ted mug is obviously an older one, but my mind wandered to the fact that I really want to watch the show Ted Lasso, but don't have Apple TV. The things that go through our minds in thrift stores. As a cute little creamer made in Japan. And then this bowl here that I'm reaching for had a bit of a Fitz and Floyd look to it. And it was marked on the bottom, but I'm honestly not sure what that marking is. Regardless, the bowl was pretty chipped up, so I wouldn't have grabbed it. It was nice being in an empty aisle for a couple minutes because I filmed this on a Saturday and it was crazy busy. There were people everywhere. I kept having to squish in, but so it goes. I love the Tupperware cups. I did buy these thinking to resell them. I may end up keeping them. And then down here, this caught my eye because I thought I knew the pattern, and I did. It's the Village pattern by Pfaltzgraff. Over on this end cap here, I loved the pattern, the drippy glaze on this piece, but as soon as I picked it up, I knew that it was a newer piece, and there was a price tag on the bottom for $7.99, and then the store thrift, like the thrift store tag, was $7.99. So I'm not sure of an age on that one, but it definitely seemed like it was a newer piece to me. I have a thing for skulls, so had to check out that skull canister. And this is something that I used to actually pick up quite a bit. They're the little swan sort of bud vases or like propagation vases. Up here, I have sold SeaWorld memorabilia before. It isn't necessarily a super quick seller, but it always sells. And this little thing was only priced at 99 cents. I had no idea what it was in the moment, but it was a vintage piece. It was marked 1980, made in Hong Kong. And I forgot to mention, I actually had a 20% off coupon, so I was keeping that in mind as I was shopping. 99 cents, right? $1 becomes 80 cents. Makes it that much more appealing. Just looking at some pretty china here. I like to look at, who the makers are, just always trying to familiarize myself with different patterns and different names to look out for. Oftentimes I'll take a picture and then I'll come home and I'll research names that I'm not familiar with. Pretty little ginger jar, but this was a cute little one, probably like a 90s vintage. Just a small little ginger jar, but they had it priced at $6.99, which was a little pricey for resale. But then this really cute Starbucks mug was only $2.99. It was like a mommy and me set, and I actually ended up finding its partner. And realistically, I'll probably sell those mugs individually. You seem to be able to get more selling them individually. That's a very cool antique syrup pitcher, but you can see there the handle was completely broken off. I almost cut my finger on it. So I love Coco Joe's pieces. This is one of their little menahunes. I've actually sold this identical guy. The prices right now seem to be a little all over, but I have sold that identical figurine for $30 on Etsy. So he was $4.99, plus using my 20% off coupon for $4. There was no way I was going to leave him. Now, I'm always drawn to religious iconography, so I loved these chalkware pieces. They had the pair, as you can see, the praying hands and the eternal light. They had that cool colorway to them with like the turquoise and the orange against the black. Very cool, but they were priced at $14.99. Chalkware is a pain in the butt to ship unless it's really worth it, and those guys aren't really reselling for all that much. Here's another Starbucks piece. Someone must have donated their Starbucks collection because there was so much Starbucks stuff. Now this one I grabbed. My daughter might end up getting it. I'm not sure. It'll depend what she says. If not, I will resell it. And up here, someone had a few really cute pieces of Blue Mountain pottery. Not bad prices if you are someone looking to decorate, if you're collecting for yourself. But for reselling, not great. $9.99 on the owl. I believe it was $7.99 on the poodle, $9.99 on the other big dog. So good for personal, but even with a coupon, they're just not selling for that much. I do better with the smaller Blue Mountain figurines because I can usually get those for a bit cheaper. And these little plaques here, super cute, kind of like a homemade thing. Absolutely love these little guys. There were quite a few owl pieces in the store this day as well. There was a few things. They actually had this really cool otagiri set, but it had quite a few chips, which was really disappointing. There was a cream and a sugar, like a honey pot. Someone's little plaster crocodile project. I thought he'd look cute in a plant. This guy was so weird. He looked like a combination, like if Laurel and Hardy had a baby. It was a very, very weird face on that figurine. And this mug I wanted for myself because I love my kitties. But it had some chips. And there was like a weird sort of like crack mark in the bottom, which was unfortunate. But the Catzilla stuff by Candice Ryder also has some really good resale value, depending on the style. The themed ones, so like the Halloween mugs, the Christmas mugs, those can sell really well. I thought this piece was glass, but it was just a plastic, sort of like bubble plastic napkin ring. And this was an interesting teacup. I've never seen that mark before. Craftsman China. It was made in Japan. Someone has one priced for like $90 on eBay. I couldn't find any solds though. And I couldn't really find anything about that maker. So that was a bit of a mystery one. I love coconut monkeys. I have quite a few. I have like a collection of them. He was priced at $4.99. If you were looking to resell, there was a little bit of room there. It's another little religious theme piece. That was a little chalkware plaque. There was some damage on that, but I really liked the sort of like three-dimensional effect with the sheep on there and the little kitty on the side. It was kind of a random thing, but... And then this was a little tea set. Had a bunch of little teacups. Had the teapot, though I think the teapot was missing the lid. Had the cream and sugar. Looked like sort of a made in Japan thing. And that was priced. The bag was $9.99. And that guy there was an eyeglass holder. His nose was all wonky though. It just needed a little dab of glue to fix him up. Now, I don't buy a lot of that style of copper. They don't have a ton of resale value in my opinion. And so unless you're getting like something that's marked or something that has more substantial weight to it, I kind of stay away from those pieces. They're beautiful and lots of people still love to decorate with them, but I honestly thought it would be better served staying there for someone to, grab it to use in their own space. This is a really beautiful Royal Doulton pattern. It's called Hilltop. Like, no resale value on it though, for the most part. Not on these cups and saucers, at least. You can get them on replacements for like $9 a set. They have them priced at $6.99 here in the store. And then this piece is an obvious sort of a reproduction of like the Victorian era mercury glass. When we think mercury glass, everyone thinks ornaments and beads, but in the Victorian era, they actually had this whole line. It was like a poor man's silverware, and they used to make vases. There's some really sort of like key distinguishing features about them. It's an interesting collector's niche, and some of this stuff is absolutely gorgeous. So if you don't know a lot about the Victorian mercury glass, I highly recommend looking into it. The seal, from a distance, I thought maybe it was soapstone, but when I got close, and obviously as soon as I picked it up, I could tell it was some sort of more like a resin material. Had it been soapstone, I would have been a little more excited. Soapstone carvings, if you find the right thing, they can definitely bring in some good value. This was an obvious Costa Boda wannabe. You can see that big seam mark down the side. The Costa Boda snowball votives do not have that. I'm a sucker for tins, so of course I had to look at the little tins here. This is a souvenir piece from Diana and Charles's marriage. Down here, I love the funky retro look of these guys. These are bowling shoes. They were priced at $15, but something to keep in mind if you're looking for things to resell. Bowling shoes can be a thing. Here I'm digging. I want to look at this red thing. It reminds me of something that I think IKEA used to do. One of those big companies, but this was just really cute. This one was pretty bent and had some chipping and stuff, which was too bad. I would have grabbed it for myself had it been in a bit better condition. And then just before heading out, I asked the clerk to have a look at the brooches. This was a really pretty miraculous metal pin. Only $2.99, plus I was going to get my 20% off. And then this was nice. It was priced at $19.99 though. Still too high for resale. It's a Siam sterling silver with the yellow finish. Love this little centaur, probably Sagittarius. And that is right about where we are going to wrap up. So hope you enjoyed and stay tuned for the haul.